So, you want to access archival materials but don't know where to start or if you're even allowed? This guide is for people who would love to visit an archive or special collections but don't think they can. I have a lot of experience going to archives. I've volunteered in 3 different ones and have experience visiting various archives and special collections for research. I've also worked in a few libraries and have shadowed in special collections. Which leads to our first question. What is an archive and what are special collections? The Dictionary of Archive Terminology, run by the Society of American Archivists, defines an archive as, quote, a physical or digital collection of historical records, unquote. The dictionary also defines special collections as, quote, an institution or an administrative unit of a library responsible for managing materials outside the general library collection, including rare books, archives, manuscripts, maps, oral history interviews, and amphoria, unquote. For the sake of simplicity, I will be using these terms interchangeably in this video. During my time as a master's student and in my old day job, I often interacted with students who wanted to look at archival materials but never bothered to try due to perceived inaccessibility. I think that's really sad. Many archives want researchers to come and look at their materials, and yes, that includes students and non-academics. Some archives are very restrictive, but a lot aren't. In this video, I'm going to explain how to access an archive as a student or as a new researcher. Each archive is different and has a different set of rules, but I'm going to explain some quick fundamental basics. These rules are pretty standard across all the archives I've personally been in. No pens. Bring a pencil with you if you're going to take notes. Some archives also don't allow laptops, so be sure to ask. Handle materials with clean and dry hands, so always wash your hands with soap and water and then dry them before going in. Don't wear any lotion, skin cream, or hand sanitizer on your hands. It can damage materials. No food or drinks in the reading room. You don't want to risk damaging the materials again. Don't leave the archival material alone. If you need to leave the reading room for whatever reason, taking a call, using the restroom, etc., let the archivist know. They may let you leave the archival materials on your desk, or they might want to keep it with them until you return. Ask before taking photos of materials. Some archives welcome photos, others don't allow it at all. If you're allowed to take photos, ask what you're allowed to do with them. Some archives do not allow personal photos to be used for any sort of publication, including social media. Others will let you post photos on social media under the condition you give proper attribution. Proper attribution might include citing the material shelf marks to tagging the archive on social media. If you are confused about what they consider proper attribution, feel free to ask what they mean. Be prepared to spend more time than you anticipated in an archive, especially if it's your first time visiting one. Also, depending on what you are researching, be prepared not to find anything relevant immediately. Now that you know that, let's get into figuring out what archive is best for your research. The first thing you need to do is find the archive you want to visit. Different archives will specialize in different subjects. For example, Credington in Devon in the UK has a folklore archive. It's a very useful resource if you want to learn about folklore, but perhaps not as useful if you want to research military weapons. However, because archives often specialize in their subjects, that makes it easier to research that particular subject. Once you decide what archive you want to visit, look at their catalog online. A lot of archives will have their catalog online for researchers to look at. However, it's important to keep in mind that most archival catalogs are not particularly detailed. It's very unlikely you will get instant gratification from an archive catalog. Often, the catalog will give you the bare minimum information about their materials. Other times, they will have materials that are not cataloged at all. That's why if there's a subject you are interested about but can't find anything about it on the public online catalog, email the archivist. Sometimes, archives will have private catalogs that are only viewable for staff. The archivists will be able to recommend materials that are related to your research. Always be polite when emailing the archivists. They are the ones who decide whether or not you're allowed to see the materials. Another thing to keep in mind is that each archive has its own rules. Some archives are very easy to get into, but for others you will need a letter of recommendation or have a certain type of status. As a side note, I apologize if you hear any bells in the background of this video. When I'm currently recording, the local bell ringers are practicing. For example, some archives only allow established researchers, professors, or PhD students into their collections. Others welcome anyone in as long as they have a passing interest in the subject. Most archives I've been to fall somewhere in between. Different special collections will also have different processes for letting someone in. For larger special collections and archives, you may need to get a library card before you're allowed inside. Usually these are ones that are connected to a library of some sort. For smaller archives, you might not. To get a library card, you usually have to fill out some paperwork, and that might take a bit of time. If this is your first time going to an archive that requires a library card, make sure to get there early. It will always take longer than you think, and hope it will. Something will probably go wrong in the process, whether it be your new card not working or your details for your card weren't filled out correctly. Make sure to bring your ID to the archive as well so they can verify it is you when they give you your library card. Some big archives won't let you bring your stuff into the reading rooms. When that's the case, they will have lockers for your bag and a clear plastic bag to put your note-taking related items into. If you are visiting an archive in Europe, Germany especially, bring a few euro coins so you can access the lockers. These are usually unlocked with a coin and a key. When you return to get your things, you will get your coin back. Now, these are all tips from a researcher's point of view. I have never worked in special collections in an official capacity, so I asked Dot Porter for the inside scoop. Dot Porter is a curator at the Schoenberg Institute for Manuscript Studies at the University of Pennsylvania Libraries. I've linked her YouTube channel in the description so you can check out her channel. So what do people working at archives and special collections want first-time visitors to know? A few things line up with what I've said. Wash your hands before you go into the reading room, check the institution's rules beforehand, and follow those rules. Remember, every place will have different rules for their special collection materials. She also says to check to see if the place you're visiting requires registration before visiting. I can confirm this will cut down on waiting times, usually. Also, be sure to request the materials you want to use before you visit. Libraries and archives are often very understaffed. Asking for materials beforehand lets staff know what they need to bring out so you aren't left waiting for too long. Also, if you ask for materials beforehand, you won't risk them not being available during your visit. Sometimes libraries will have archival displays for the public. The chance that the material you want to see in a display is low, but not zero. There may also be a variety of other reasons an item is unavailable at any given time. Also, don't be afraid to ask for help handling an object either. Unless you are a top expert in your field, the staff will know more than you about how to handle the materials. That means no white gloves when handling manuscripts. And if you are a top expert in your field, I assume you are watching this to share with your students. In that case, hi! If you like the video, please share it around. And if you really like this video, I'm always open for job interviews. Anyway, enough with my shameless self-promotion. Most staff members will be happy to help you. At the end of the day, it's better to ask for help than not ask and break something irreplaceable. Finally, remember to bring a sweater. Reading rooms are often super cold and coats will not be allowed in. And that is what you should know before you visit an archive for the first time. Did you find this video helpful? What subject are you researching? Do you find archives intimidating? Why or why not? Is there an archive you'd like to visit someday? Please let me know in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it educational. I plan to make more educational videos in the future. Right now, I mostly post travel videos and audiobooks of my stories, but I have plans to make videos on medieval history and other things that I'm interested in. If you have any suggestions for topics you would like to see me talk about next, please tell me in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, please do like and subscribe to my channel. I hope to put out another educational video next month. Have a good day and goodbye until next time.